Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. I'm so excited to get on here and talk about the tarot forecast for this week ahead. So far, it's been so good, really, coming on here and talking to you about it. So I had the time again. The goal is to get on here every week and to keep pushing out this content because you've been loving it and I've been loving it. You want to know what's going to happen. I want to know what's going to happen. I have the tools that will help us to see what's going to happen. So we might as well use our resources here. So I did pull all of the cards. I have them all lined out. I did take some time to meditate on what it is that I see and what it is that I feel. Be right back. My cat is chewing on something. I know yep, I knew it. Be right back. So people aren't the only ones who love chocolate. Apparently cats love chocolate too. And this Lindor chocolate liquor, right? Strawberries and cream has been like phenomenal. It's Valentine's Day this week. Oh, that's right, Tuesday. Wow, I almost forgot. So yeah, this is the week of Valentine's Day, but all chocolate is like 50% off right now. So I went hard and heavy and I got this strawberry stuff. It was so good and I've been eating it nonstop. You can tell because there's wrappers everywhere. So last week we had the lunar eclipse in Leo and it was a large, we're still going. Okay. It was this large full moon that was just a regular full moon times 600 million thousand. And basically what the full moons remind us, especially the lunar eclipse, is to let go of whatever it is that is no longer serving you. So I want to guess that you probably have seen some things kind of like popping off in your life. No matter what the area was, something somewhere popped off and blew itself. Kind of like if you're holding like a firecracker and you're just like, oh my God, this is so pretty, and boom, it just kind of explodes and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? That explosion was the lunar eclipse. So for some of you, it was really positive and you were really excited about what it was that you saw. For others of us, we were like, what do I do? Literally, I know this. Why? Because you guys have really been throwing your own firecrackers into my email inbox, which I've been like scrolling through and responding back to them and doing my best to help you to sort out those problems that have been kind of like resurfacing. And I'm really glad to be able to contact and to talk with you one-on-one. But the energy of that last week is still having a ripple effect into this week. Why is that? Well, because the Judgment card is here and it showed up twice. You guys know I take two decks, and in this case it's the mini Rider-Waite deck, and if you want this deck, I use it all the time. I'll link it below so you can get this for yourself. But I take two decks and I sandwich them together and I use them when I work with my clients and when I work on the YouTube pulling cards as a group. And the odds of the one card showing up twice within the same position are pretty slim to none, but it's happening right here, and it's been happening a lot last week with my clients that I've been working with on their readings. And with the Judgment card, what you're seeing is this aha moment, this great awakening, this kind of like re-emergence or this surge of stuff, and whatever this stuff is. So for some of you, you're doing some really serious like overhauls within your life and you're doing some real serious reflection and you're saying, okay, what is it that I've got going on here? Is this serving me? Is this working for me? Because something does not feel complete. The whole picture is not complete. I don't feel complete. Something is missing. I see that in the energy of Monday, first and foremost. Why Monday? Because Five of Cups is sitting here and the King of Wands. So this King of Wands, even though it is in the tarot deck, it represents a male person, it doesn't actually have to be a male. I've seen these cards represent female energy or just energy as a whole, or even opportunities, but I want to say more often than not, it does represent a person. But in this case, the energy on Monday, you're feeling like an entrepreneur. You're feeling like putting yourself out there. You feel like you're having this bolt of energy and excitement and passion and drive, and you will take the risk. But why? Because there's pieces that are missing that don't fit, that don't feel right. Or for some of us, this can represent the missing piece is this King of Wands person. And you're looking at the relationship, or you're looking at the dynamic, or what all has kind of bubbled up, and maybe it's not just this week. Maybe this has been going on for the last 6 months, or maybe the last year or 2 years, where you're just kind of having this energy, this dynamic, working with the King of Wands, and you're looking at it now, and you're like, okay, I see that we have this here. I see that there are some good pieces of it, but what is what I don't have, does it make up for what I do have within this? So really ask yourself this, because this entire week is all about you self-reflecting and you reevaluating and you being honest with yourself. And you can't not be honest with yourself, because with the full moon and with the energy as a whole, it wants to expose, it wants to enlighten, it wants to light this up and say, look at me, look at this, be real, like be real with yourself, and really ask yourself those hard-hitting questions that are ultimately that don't feel good, or may create pain or discomfort, or make you feel insecurity or anxious, make you feel insecure or anxious. But on the long-term vision, when you get into a state of uncomfortable, you are going to have change. You are going to experience change, because something again is missing, and you can't stay within the state of uncomfortability for too long. So that's what I'm seeing for the energy of Monday. I really want to challenge you to look at your life and look at what's going on here and say, okay, I know this is not going to be the easiest. I know that I might actually have to leave a situation that has been comfortable for a while, or something that I've gotten used to. And just because you've gotten used to it doesn't mean that it's the best for you. Okay? You always have to look at things from the eyes of the universe. And the universe says, look, if I'm ending this, or if I'm creating trouble in this area, that means something has got to change. And the universe understands that there's so much good stuff out there that you don't even know, that you haven't even really realized yet. And you don't realize it because you've been locked and loaded in this one position. And it's time for you to break free. So Tuesday, this is all about, we have the Temperance card and we have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, Temperance and Ten of Pentacles shows us that hard work pays off if you have the right amount of chemistry, if you have the right dynamic. So with the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles upright says hard work pays off for generations to come, or just as a whole. So this doesn't always have to represent money or financial situations. Sometimes it's just our commitments, or the things that we want to see develop, we want to see grow for the long term, for the long haul. So this could be lifestyle changes, relationships, building a business, planning a trip, moving. So these are things that we want to see successful for us for a long time. If you're going to commit to something, you want it to pay off ultimately. That's what the Ten of Pentacles says. But when it's reversed, it says, look, what it is that you're aiming for, what it is that you're trying to do, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be like a poof, boom, here it is. This is every day you wake up. You have a structure, you have a routine. You have to wake up early in the morning. You have to go to bed late. You have to do whatever it takes in order to make the pieces fall together. And that's what the Temperance says. It says, find the chemistry, find the formula, find the routine, find the structure that works best for you. Okay, so, and for a lot of you guys, you've seen last week some things popping off within relationships, just across the board. I know, because I'm seeing it within my inboxes and my text messages and the phone calls that I've been receiving, and the conversations I've been having while working with my clients one-on-one. A lot of things really did pop off, but this is where we're reviewing some stuff. So in some ways, this could be the breakdown of something that we thought was going to be forever. But it really starts to fall apart now. And that's okay. I know that for right now, it doesn't feel like it's okay. But ultimately, everything really does. You have to trust me on this. Everything happens for a reason. And especially when you see an ending happening on a full moon or on the lunar eclipse, it's saying it's time to let go. And you have to trust it. It's time to let go. And it's okay. You're making the right decision. So on Wednesday, we see a lot of confusion, and we see someone saying, look, I'm packing my bags and I'm leaving. I gotta leave the situation. This doesn't serve me. Why? Because on Monday, and the energy of this entire week with the Judgment card says, we're blowing this up. We're blowing this in our faces right now so that we can just see all of the pieces and acknowledge it. So even with the Judgment card, this is like all of these dead corpses. Like, this is so morbid, but the symbolism behind it is so rich and so reflective and so empowering and so important. So you'll see all of these dead bodies that were lying in their graves and stuff, and all of them start to come to life and come to be brought to the surface, because this one angel, the Archangel Gabriel, blows the trumpet and signals for them to rise up. And that's kind of what's happening here, is these old dead things are coming up to the surface, and we have to acknowledge it. We have to sort it out and put it where it belongs, and give it the last words, and to put that seal of blessing on it, and then move forward. Because when anything ends or when anything dies, it's time for us to continue on. We can't stay within the holding on to a dead something, because that's gross. No, but really, you can't hold on to something that it's natural for it to die and to go away. So on Wednesday, someone is having the clarity, someone is having the vision and saying, with the Seven of Cups, and I pulled some extra cards to determine, okay, are we overly clouded minded, or are we becoming more clear focused? And we are on Wednesday. We do see things more clearly. Why? Because the Queen of Swords is here, and the Queen of Swords is all about clarity. She's all about analyzing things. She sees things for what they are, facts, analyzing them, and says, this is the fact, this is what it is, cold hard truth. And the Queen of Pentacles here is all about practicality. Does this make sense? Is this logical? And the answer is yes. And the Knight of Cups behind that says you're acting upon your heart. And when you act upon your heart, is it easy all the time? No, it's the greatest risk, but it's a risk worth taking. And with the Seven of Cups, the fog begins to clear. We start to see things clearly. We start to feel things clearly. It may not feel like a bowl of cherries. It may not feel like whipped cream and ice cream, but it's the truth. It's real, it's raw, and it's only a temporary situation, and it's time for you to move on. The Eight of Cups is all about seeing it for what it is, stacking those cups up, putting your cloak on, that cloak of passion. Red represents passion, going out into the distance, taking that risk, because the full moon is exposing more and more every day, and going out there, and you don't know what's going to be out there. You don't know what things are going to lie ahead, but I can guarantee you it's going to be worth the journey. Okay, it will be worth the journey. So especially for your own well-being, for your own self-sufficiency, your own happiness, your own lifestyle, like what's going to make you feel good as you on your own. You'd be surprised when you take a risk, or when you follow your heart, it pays off in miles to come, for years and generations to come, just because you made the decision to follow your heart and to put yourself out there. Okay, is it always easy? No, it's most of the time it's not, but it is always worth it, and you can do it, especially for this being the end result. If you have to get through the judgments, both of these judgments, if you have to go through just looking at something and examining it in order to get to the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, it's worth it, and you should do it by all means. So that's something that I'm seeing is on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, we might be feeling a little emotional. Thursday, I see it as a very vulnerable time, a very sensitive place for a lot of you. You might be having to deal with someone else who's feeling really sensitive or emotional, or might be dragging on, or maybe it's a situation that just won't let go of you. You've made the decision to let go of it, but it won't let go of you. And it could be a very sensitive place, and it may be very difficult for you to look at it because you're coming from your heart. A lot of our tribe members are very heart-focused, intuitive people. We see the best in people. We can see that versus sometimes what is actually going on, because on an energetic level, we see their intentions and we see why it is that they're doing something, but we just we look at them as just like, well, he doesn't know what he's doing, or she doesn't know what it is that she's doing. She's doing this because she's hurt. But at the end of the day, we have to choose our happiness. We have to choose what's right for us, because ultimately when we choose what our intuition is telling us to, or when we choose what the universe is saying, this is what you need to do, then ultimately when we make that decision, we promote the other person or the other situation to rise up and to meet us at that level. So especially on a vibrational level, if they're meant to meet us on that vibrational level, and if they're not, they have to go, and that's okay too, because there's plenty more where that came from. But okay, so Page of Cups does seem to show a bit of a sensitive energy, a sensitive topic, a sensitive area. And with the Six of Swords reversed, this is a difficulty in moving forward. But again, this is just a temporary situation, and this is just for this week, and in this case, it's only for Thursday. On Friday, This is where someone says, you know what, I'm returning to you what I have, or something gets returned back to you that was once lost or taken, and this helps to build the foundation for the future moving forward. With the Page of Pentacles says, look, you know what, you've returned this to me, thank you for that. Or I have to return this to you because I'm cutting my losses, or this actually belongs to you. Or maybe you have to move some things around. Maybe you have to switch some things within your life in order to make space for whatever it is that you are now welcoming in, and that you're growing and you're building and you're committed to now. So you might have to make some lifestyle changes. You might have to cut out some people. You might have to make an executive decision when it comes to your work or your relationship. And that decision that you make in order to switch things up. And again, temperance is all about finding the perfect balance, the thing that works just for you. You are not like anybody else. You have to find out what works best for you, the perfect chemistry, and employ that. You will use that, incorporate that. And when you find that perfect chemistry, sometimes it's 70-30 something, sometimes it's 90-10. So whatever it is that creates the perfect 100 for you is your formula, and keep sticking with that until it doesn't work for you anymore. But so I do see a little bit of reevaluating or returning or shifting and that type of energy going on here. You might even receive an apology, which is so welcomed. If you are dealing, you might actually have to give an apology to someone. But then just because you're giving that apology, or just because you're making these changes and these shifts, it doesn't mean that you go back to square one. It means that you continue to build and move forward, because the Page of Pentacles is all about building the long-term, returning to the long-term vision and building from that, and keeping that energy going because you're committed and you want to see growth. And the Page of Pentacles says, I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to do what it takes. I'm committed to this. I'm committed to this for the long haul. So Saturday and Sunday, this is where things get a little, this is more where we're like, I need a break. I need to take some time for myself, especially on Sunday. I see a lot of you guys really needing to take some time, some much needed well rest for yourself. Let Sunday be the day where you recharge your batteries, you make yourself a fruit smoothie, you get the cat hair off of your eyelash. Whatever it is that is just bothering you. In this case for me, it's this little cat hair that's stuck on my eyelash. Whatever it is, to get that off, or to recharge your batteries, or to make yourself feel good and whole and complete, is what it is. I just spit, is what it is that you need to do in order to make yourself feel good and whole and complete. Maybe this means taking some extra rest for yourself. Maybe waking up a little later. Maybe waking up earlier and going for a run or going for a jog, doing some yoga, meeting up with some friends, having a mimosa, going for brunch. Whatever it is that works for you is what it is that you should do, and it's going to help you to feel content and this sense of peace, because you really need it. Like, you really do need it. Across the board, lunar eclipses can really drain our energy. It is what it is, but it's worth it. But you also, as much progress and as much change as it is that you're making on a day-to-day basis, this week and last week, you really do want to make sure that you're doing like self-care and you're taking care of yourself, because if you're feeling off, or if you're feeling low energy, it's just not going to serve you in the long haul, okay? And it's okay when you take a break, when you take rest, it does benefit. It's just as productive as when you're actively going out there and accomplishing things, and journaling and self-reflecting and accomplishing, like just going hard. So, and also on Saturday, I do see a change of a situation. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. I do see the situation changing on Saturday, and the wounds kind of lessening and falling back. And then Sunday is the day of rest and recuperation. So I understand that this week as a whole is a lot to deal with these tarot cards. So I did pull from Doreen Virtue's Goddess Oracle deck. It's one of my favorite decks. If you love this deck or you don't have it and you want it, I will link it below. I use it all the time. It's been my go-to lately, because this week has been really a lot for me. There's been a lot of good, but there's been a lot of emotional stuff going on for me too. Just coming up out of the blue, like crying for no reason. It's like, what is going on? But that's what the moons do. They play with your emotion, and so much of us are really tied to the moon, so we really feel it, and I feel it too. Especially, I'm so connected to the moon. You guys know that. So for this, I pulled focused intention, and blossoming. Now, Diana is actually the goddess of the moon, so I'm not surprised to see her surface. And with this card, blossoming, this is all about something that is taking time to to grow, and will need time to grow. So this is about zeroing in again back on our intentions. What is our intentions? The things that it is that we visualize, the things that we want to see come into our lives. And we set that intention. Hopefully you set the intention during the full moon, or maybe you set intentions a while ago. And these string of events, these endings and beginnings, are just the steps of the ladder that are just taking you to the actual manifestation of the physical manifestation of something that it is that you asked for a little while ago. So even though you might not see the exact result of it, you may not see the success of the situation right now in this moment, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. Remember, when you plant a seed, you have to give it water, you have to give it dirt, you have to give it nutrients like compost, you have to give it sunlight, and you have to give it time. And just because you can't see that seed growing doesn't mean that it's not growing. It is blossoming. It just takes some time. And on the flip side, a lot of you guys are emerging from the cocoon. I see you blossoming as these gorgeous, beautiful butterflies that you didn't even know you had these wings that were just stuck in this chrysalis for just too long. Maybe not too long, maybe it feels like it's too long, but it was just the right amount of time for the situation to be right for you to come out and break through into it. And that's where you're at right now. All right? So thank you guys so much again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. There's going to be a million more of these. We're going to be doing them every single week from here on out until I can't do it anymore. And hopefully I'll be able to do it for a really long time to come. So send your comments if you have questions. Definitely leave your comments below, because it benefits not only me but our tribe. We love to see engagement. It really helps all of us to share our experiences. So don't hesitate to get raw and to get real down below, because we are a community of people who are like-minded, and we're here to support each other, okay? If you need to work with me one-on-one, those links are below too. But in the meantime, we will definitely talk soon, okay? I'm sending you all my love. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.